You don't need to be educated, in terms of like real estate. You don't need a real estate license or like you don't have to have a lot of business experience. Like the average person can really come into a business like this, and scale up to a 6-figure plus income in a short period of time.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. We find dope people that did dope stuff that can document it. You killed it? Are you killing it right now?
I'm doing my thing.
That's good news right there. Listen, man, we are here in a topic that I'm super interested in. And actually, me and my wife was talking about getting into the Airbnb business. But I'm scared. Kemoy, I'm scared. You know why? Because... Well, do you know why I'd be apprehensive?
With maybe rental arbitrage, yes.
What is that? Mad fancy word.
So what rental arbitrage means is pretty much to take a property that's typically, rented out for like 1 year. Start over?
No, you good. No, go ahead.
But yeah, rental arbitrage is pretty much where you take a property that's, typically set up for a 1-year lease, standard rental property. You lease out that property, and then you turn around and re-rent it, as a short-term rental.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because apartment complexes don't like that. And they'll kick you out.
So they don't like it when they're lied to or you do it behind their back. But when you're transparent and you actually set it up in a way where they understand, both, the whole picture, the whole dynamic of what you're doing, they're not going to get mad.
I don't know. I don't know if Atlanta, it's almost like every single one, especially if it's a nice spot, seems like that's an issue.
And the thing is, what I've noticed as well is that a lot of people kind of go for like the same type of properties, which are like the high rises.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in like observing the masses and doing the opposite. Like I like high rises, but I don't only go for like the high rise buildings. And I feel like that's why I don't get as much resistance or as much objections as a lot of other people do that try to get into the game.
And how many Airbnbs do you have?
12 at the moment.
Got 12 Airbnbs every single month, bringing it in?
100%.
All right. So, because I'll get too far into it with my personal selfish questions. Introduce yourself. How do you introduce yourself when people ask you?
So my name is Kemoy, Jamaican born, Brooklyn bred. But I'm currently in Maryland. I'm a short-term rental business owner, real estate investor, and also a world traveler.
Do you buy the buildings?
Lease them. I lease all my properties.
See, that's what I be having a challenge with, man, because why not just buy it, And
So-
I mean, obviously, not everybody got bread like that, but it seems like if you're going to make these improvements to the property, you don't have to buy it, so you don't have to worry about nobody else saying anything against your Airbnb business.
Right. I mean, you could, right? I mean, there's a lot of advantages to purchasing real estate, but I'm not knocking purchasing real estate.
A bunch of disadvantages too, though.
There are. But the upside to rental arbitrage is crazy. Like the amount of cash flow. And then, when you buy real estate, you got to put that large sum of money. You don't have to do that with the short-term rental game. Mm-hmm. You can really come into it with low capital. You can literally lease a property in a matter of less than a week. You can get it ready in a matter of a day or two. And you can have literally a brand new Airbnb property in less than a week if you really wanted to. I have students that literally, learn this information in less than 30 days, they get their first Airbnb.
Wow.
So the average time to buying a property is about like 6 months from actually, finding a realtor, actually searching the market.
You can run the bag up with an Airbnb in that time.
100%.
Gotcha. So walk me, what were you doing before this Airbnb stuff?
Man, a lot. So, I mean, before I got into the Airbnb game, I was doing primarily network marketing and wholesaling real estate.
What company?
World Ventures.
World Ventures.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all was in, okay, that makes sense, because y'all was in World Ventures. Gotcha. Did you make some money?
I made a good amount of income.
You was lit in the...
I was all right.
Okay.
I was all right.
Okay.
And honestly, my experience in network marketing, it was amazing. I mean, that's when I really caught like the passive income bug. right? And that particular company had a focus on travel, right? That was like our product. So I honestly got so excited and used to traveling the world and creating passive income. I knew that I forever always wanted to be able to do that.
Yeah, you can't go back to a job after that.
No way. And even I didn't want to just, do any type of business. I needed a business that I can make passive income and I can pretty much automate to where I can continue to travel. So like that was always important to me.
So what were you doing before World Ventures?
So I quit my job August of 2013, right? And what I was doing was I was a caseworker, Department of Social Services. And the crazy thing is...
Joe hit a nerve. Joe is a caseworker.
Okay.
You're a caseworker, right? He just quit today.
Social Services. So you already know, right? And the crazy thing is I went to college for a biology degree, right? So that job had nothing to do with my degree.
Into that.
I couldn't even find a job in my field, right? Like the first job I had out of college was working for a collections company. And you didn't even need a degree for that. Like it was tough, like in the job market at that time, right? So that like my first like real job was social services. And if you know anything about, social services, they don't pay that well. It's stressful. And it's typically in environments that are not so inspirational.
For sure.
Okay.
It's always an issue. When you get called,
yeah,
something's wrong.
Yeah. 100%.
You get called every day.
100%. So being at that job and just like not being fulfilled, not being happy, my student loans being up, through the roof. And like, just kind of knowing that, look, I'm not even working a job that I'm really passionate about, right? It just really started eating at me. I felt average, right? And I remember like, occasionally like I'll go on these little vacations and every time, I'd get back on a plane to go back home, I always had this thought in my mind of like, back to reality, back to reality, back to reality. And, one day it really dawned on me is why is it that me going back to reality is a place in my life where I'm not happy? Like, why isn't my reality someplace I want to thrive and be in all the time? That just didn't make sense to me, right? So being in that place, that really just kept eating away at me so that I wanted to change. I wanted to change it really bad. Yeah. And I just remember having this one lady that worked there at my job. She just kept trying to micromanage me. And like, between that and just not being excited, that truly, it did something to me. And that's when I just kind of like, I just had to figure it out. And I knew I wanted to travel the world and make money, but I wasn't going to be no flight attendant. Nothing against flight attendants. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to be, I was too tall though.
You shit on the...
Yeah, no, they won't let, they would like...
Oh, really? It's like an 8?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. The height, I didn't know
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I knew I didn't want to do that. And I was just trying to figure out ways to blend the two, right? And first I got involved with wholesale real estate. I was making great income there.
Were you being an entrepreneur while you worked your job, and you quit because you made more money, or what?
So here's the funny thing. So I was actually doing a bunch of, hustles, right? In that winter of 2013, I had read like my first personal development book, right? Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And that book taught me so much game. Like it taught me how to like design my life, get out of my comfort zone, how to reinvent myself, right? Because that's what I realized I had to do. I had to reinvent myself. And, from that book, he talked about creating mastermind groups. And he was like, create a mastermind group, find like-minded people that want to do the things that you want to do, that want to create the similar life,
And that's why you have your job.
Yeah, while I have the job. And so I'm really tapping into, bro, anything that book said to do, I did it. It said...
You're coachable.
I was super coachable. I wanted to change, right? So he said, meditation is good for the mind. So you should learn how to meditate. I remember looking up like, free meditation classes, right? And I went to this place called the Baltimore Shambhala. It felt weird as hell, right? Because I'm not into meditation, but that experience was really cool and allowed me to tap into my mind. And he was like, do things that are super outside your comfort zone that you don't like to do. And like, I hated running, right? And I decided to run a half marathon. And that, again, like I hated running. I could barely run a mile.
Right.
Then I had to train myself mentally and physically to run over 13 plus miles,
That just set me free just now. Yo, because I hate going to the gym, right? So in the fact that you're saying, I had to do things, like if I really wanted to be successful, I had to do things that I'm uncomfortable with. Maybe if I going to the next level, I need to embrace it.
100%.
Because I do not like working out.
100%.
Like even after the workout.
Yeah.
I feel like, I shouldn't even did that. I could have did something else.
And all these things blend into business or just kind of,
100%.
or just like your goals, So, and these things may not seem like they have anything to do with, business or like making money, but they do.
It's everything.
Has everything. I had to, doing those things that made me comfortable with being uncomfortable. If I didn't want to do something, it put me in the mindset of, it doesn't matter how you feel, you got to do it anyways. Mm-hmm. Right. And I became very intentional about writing down my goals. I'm naturally an introvert, right? So he even talked about, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you got to get comfortable with public speaking. I was terrified of public speaking. He said, take on this, do this program called Toastmasters, right? It's a public speaking organization. And like, I would literally go to Toastmasters and like force myself to like do speeches, right? And it's like doing these little things, it made me more confident. It opened up my mind. It stretched me. It allowed me to just really like tap into like, to myself much further, right?
And this is like this seems like a true turning point in your life. I can just imagine. I'm reading it. I'm going to do it because I want the success that this book says I can have. So I'm just going to do these little things. Yeah. And most people just jump straight to, okay, let me learn how to run an ad. Yeah. Let me start crafting my product. But you did the work internal first. Yeah. I hope that bar didn't go over people's head, bro.
Listen, he had all these success stories in the book. And he made it very crystal clear that the average person can live life 100% what they want, how they want to live it. They just have to be willing to become, the type of person it takes to live that life. Yeah. Right. And it's not just about making the money or, going after the money. It's about literally transforming yourself mentally to become that person. And I didn't know if it was all the way true, but I was so hungry for change that I was like, look, if this is what he's saying and this is what he claimed works, like, I'm just going to try it, And it really changed my life, right? Wow. And then he started talking about, create your financial goals. But he's like, don't just start businesses and make money just to make money. He was like, first, design the life that you want and then find businesses that complement that life, right? And what I realized I was doing,
that's a strategy.
I was trying to find these, jobs or businesses, and then I was trying to design my life around those. And what happens is, it doesn't matter how much money that you make, you're not going to be 100% happy because you're going to try to live this life that you want, but it may not even fit in the same, box as what you're doing for a living.
Wow.
So as he said that, I started writing down, okay, what do I want to do? I want to be able to wake up whenever I want to wake up. I want to be able to travel whenever I want to travel. I want to be able to create generational wealth. I want to be able to just really live life on my own terms, right? So I started documenting these things that I wanted for my life. And then I started writing down, okay, what are some things that can allow me to do that, right? And I just literally started looking it up. And, passive income was literally one of the ways to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And boom, I had got into wholesaling real estate. That's not necessarily passive income, but it started the process of making money within real estate.
Right. So explain what wholesaling real estate is, though.
So wholesaling real estate is literally, finding a motivated seller, somebody that has a certain pain in their life. And because of the pain, they need to sell this property and they're willing to sell it, a lot lower than they probably can, right? Because they're motivated. Yeah. And let's just say, someone's a wholesaler, they'll put that house under contract for that low price, and then they'll sell it for a lot higher of a price, right? So I got involved in that. But the interesting thing was, this was around April when I started that wholesaling business.
April what year?
April 2013.
2013. Dang, bro, you've been wholesaling for a minute.
Yeah, listen. So
I didn't even think wholesaling was out back then. Golly, because it just became
it wasn't really trendy. Yeah. It wasn't really trendy. And I had wrote down this goal to quit my job August of 2013.
Right.
July comes around. I had put in my 2 week, I think it was like a 3 week notice at that point, right? And I didn't even do a deal yet. And I had about $10,000 in the bank, right? But I said to myself, no matter what, I'm still gonna quit August 2nd, 2013. I already put my note in. I already told my supervisors. I already told everybody. It's over at this point. So August 2nd comes, and I show up to the office, and I felt crazy, right? Because I knew that I was doing the right thing, but I was nervous because I was getting ready this guaranteed check, right? But I'm
making good money. Where were we working?
No, the money wasn't good.
Where were we
Social
working?
services.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What?
So
40,000?
Barely, like 28,000.
Joe, calm down, raise it.
Yeah, 28,000.
Triggered, ain't you?
28,000. So I started boxing my things. And, everybody's kind of coming up to me, kind of wishing me farewell. And I'll never forget it. This one lady came up to me and she was like, Mr. Martin, I'm so proud of you because I didn't think I was going to be here this long. I planned on leaving 10 years ago, but I'm glad you had the courage to step out and do what you want to do. And it's like every bit of fear that I felt, it almost faded at that point because I knew that I was going down the right path. Yeah. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew that I believed in me. I knew that I was going to do what it took. And then the very next day, I had a close friend and fraternity brother come to me with a network marketing opportunity. And
which one was it?
World Ventures.
Yeah. So that was your first one.
That was the first one.
Gotcha.
Right? So I was a little apprehensive about getting involved, right? Because I had just quit my job. I no longer have this guaranteed income. I'm still trying to get this wholesaling thing off the ground, right? But I just got involved, man, because again, I knew what I needed, passive income, travel the world. It just kind of aligned. And I decided to tap in. So now I have my wholesaling business and I got this, network marketing thing. And it's like, I'm just pushing it. And pushing it along the way. I'm like continuously getting myself outside the comfort zone. Cause to build a networking company, like you got to do presentations and meetings and things like
and
that.
You're an introvert.
I'm an introvert. Right, so I'm pushing myself all the way outside
really
my comfort
no
zone.
Entrepreneurial experience, that you can speak of success. So I feel the position that you're in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you're just working on yourself from the inside out. No tangible results to speak of. You're just out here.
Yeah, 100%.
Going for it.
Yeah, reading 1 million books, listening to podcasts like this. I mean, just audios, just submerging my mind in just personal growth. While simultaneously building my business, just trying to make it, And, eventually, I had built a group of about a little over 800 people.
Oh, word. So you got good at network marketing. I mean, you got good at like recruiting and
I got pretty decent,
Yo, I'll tell anybody, man, network marketing is probably the best personal development you can
100%.
ever find.
100%.
And the reason is, for one, somebody else builds a company. And they give you a product to sell and market. The company services the client. You sell the product or you introduce somebody to the business.
Yep.
And the company pays them. You don't even got to pay them.
Right.
The company pays them and you get money when they get paid. But what I think is dope is people always have a hard time finding a mentor. And in network marketing, mentors are baked in.
Yeah.
You always have an upline. Somebody has been more successful than you. Even if you start at the same time, y'all got an upline that's been more successful than both of y'all. And even if that person's new, he's got an upline or she's got an upline where you can find mentorship based on your work ethic.
Right.
And then they teach you stuff like reading, personal development. There's no pity parties. It's like, yo, that's why I'm such an advocate for network marketing beginning entrepreneurs especially, but for those who maybe been in entrepreneurship for a while and don't want the pressure of running a company.
Yeah, all the components. Yeah.
And leadership, because you recruit somebody, they recruit some people, you got to take care of them.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yep.
I can see how you grew so fast personally and mentally.
Had to. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
how long did it take you to grow that group?
So about a little over 4 years. Yeah.
So from 2013 to 17?
Yeah.
In this process, did you start the Airbnb process?
So I started my Airbnb business around 2018.
18.
Yep.
After World Ventures.
Yep.
Why did you leave World Ventures?
So here's what happened. It's an interesting story, right? So, I mean, I didn't think I was going to be leaving, to be honest. It was such a cool experience. I'm not going to take away anything, that went on over there. I mean, it was an amazing experience. I even had a car bonus, right? Like I got like my dream car, this Maserati, this amazing car bonus. It gave me the ability to travel the world, make money. But certain operational issues occurred within the company, and it just really just led me to just part ways.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the thing is, I knew that I got so used to having passive income
and
traveling the world. Right. I was like, there's no way that I can't have that. I have to have that.
Yeah.
So that's when, I got into the Airbnb business.
So
right?
what was the process of leading up to that? Airbnb?
So I had a good friend, right? My good friend, Nikki, right? Shout out to Nikki, right? I had just moved into a brand new apartment, right? Making money, I found this apartment in a nice area that I want to be in. I was really excited about it. And because I was so excited about it, I decked it out. And what do you do when you just like freshly deck out like a brand new place?
You invite a girl over.
Yeah, she wasn't my girl. That's my boy's. That's my boy's wife, right?
Yeah, but the first thing you do.
Yeah. Right. Well. But the first thing I did was I invited a bunch of friends over, right? Maybe that was the first or second, right? Right?
I'm sorry, bro. Right? Okay, go ahead.
But I invited a bunch of friends over, right? And Nikki was one of them. And I remember she came over and I'm kind of giving like the grand tour of my new place, right? And she looks around and she's like, yo, this would be a cool place for Airbnb. And I was like, all right, whatever. But look at this couch I just got. Look at this new art piece. Like, look how it compliments with my pillows. It's fire, But she's like, yeah, it'll be a cool spot. And
hold on real quick. Yo, I'm in focus, right? I'm cool. All right, just double check, okay? Because this is a really good interview. And I'm nervous. Like, yo, I just want to make sure we're good. Thanks, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
so you didn't invite a girl over. You invited a bunch of people.
Right. Yeah, technically, first. Yeah, a girl. Right. Right. So I didn't think about it, after she said that. So like about a week or two later, she gets an Airbnb in that building. Right. She literally rented out an apartment in that building and started Airbnb-ing it. And like, the first month goes by, she was like, tell me, you got a spot in your building. Thanks for putting me on. And I'm just like, damn, I didn't even get no referral. When you live in a spot and you refer a friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't have told me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, so she's like, yeah, I rented a spot in your building. And, I made, over $1,500 in profit, off this. I'm like, okay. But I didn't really think nothing of it. But then a couple of months goes by.
You probably didn't understand Airbnb at that point.
Right. Like I didn't fully wrap my mind around it. Right. But it sounded cool. The fact that she was making money off something that she didn't really own, like she rented. But I was in real estate. Right. So like in my mind, the only way to really make money off real estate was to buy it and be a traditional landlord. 100%. Right. But like month after month after month, she's sharing with me the cash flow she's making. Right. And it's like consistent. And at that point, I was looking into ways to buy property, create residual income. And I looked up the average, positive cash flow on a rental property was about like $300 to $500 a month. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's cool. Again, there's a lot of advantages to purchasing real estate, appreciation is it's an asset tax, advantages, so on and so forth. But the fact that she was making this much cash flow without putting all that money down in comparison to putting all this money down, but yet not making that much positive cash flow, I was like, all right, I know this clearly works. My friend is doing it.
Right.
And it's a way to create passive income, and I can still travel the world while doing it. Yeah. So that compelled me to get my first one. Right. But then I was thinking to myself, well, I don't want to, again, it's got to be passive. So I don't want to pretty much do the things like check guests in or clean the property and things like that. So now I had to pretty much create this system on how to fully automate everything, right? So boom, as far as self-checking, I was able to create lock boxes and electronic keypads. So that way guests were able to check into the property on their own. I don't got to be there. I could literally be in Bali or Brazil. Boom, a guest can check in and out, no problem. Well, I don't have to clean the property. So I literally found a way to get cleaners that specialize in Airbnb properties. So they already know what it is. You can't just get a regular cleaner.
Why not? I don't understand the difference.
Because like if you hire a cleaner to clean this place, they're just gonna clean. Yeah. Right? But with an Airbnb, you've been to Airbnb before.
Yes.
There's things that make you comfortable. There's towels, there's washcloths, right? Sometimes there's snacks,
I see. So they're cleaning with the mindset of, I want to make this comfortable for the guest that's coming.
Exactly.
Got it.
I mean, a light bulb could be out, battery in the TV remote could be dead. It's the small things, that really add up and come together to make an experience for a traveler.
That makes sense.
So
that first one, where was the first one? Was it in your building?
In my building.
So you went and got one in your building
100%.
too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, is this before it got real known like that?
So the funny thing is, Airbnb has been around, since like 2007-ish, right? I don't know why it's like, I think probably the internet. I don't know why it's getting 100%. Like, it's like super like trendy.
The gram,
but
bro.
Yeah, the gram. But people have been making money, on Airbnb. But I guess it was a little before the trend.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's my only thing. I want to make sure it's not, the wave isn't over. And I know it's not over because all my friends keep getting more and more Airbnbs and they keep making more and more money.
Yeah.
All right, look, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I got to tell you, finally, you asked for it and we created a Patreon, okay? We created an inner circle. We have amazing stories, amazing information, how-tos from the episodes. The only thing we're missing is a community. So it's about that time. We put together our Patreon, we put together a community because we have to have conversation around the information. So even this podcast we're listening to right now, there needs to be conversation. I want to hear what you got. Like, let's throw some stuff back and forth. And because we're like-minded, we're all going in the same direction. When we connect in a community, we can connect on other stuff outside the community because we're building real relationships. Okay, so check out the Patreon. We got 3 tiers. I don't care what tier you join. The support is appreciated. Okay, thank you so much. Now back to the episode. My reservation is space, like apartment complexes and stuff that don't want you to do it. You know what I mean?
So here's my thing. You notice in the beginning, I said, I'm a short-term rental business owner, right? Like I leverage Airbnb, but at the end of the day, like I don't like just have an Airbnb business. I have a short-term rental business.
What does that mean?
So whether Airbnb is here or not, I'm still going to make money off these properties, right? So there's other sites. There's VRBO, there's Booking.com. Matter of fact, travel nurses, right? Business professionals, right? So if you think about it, like the whole art of short-term rentals isn't new. There's always been housing for people that needed housing for short-term stays.
I see.
Airbnb just made it popular.
Yeah. So, okay, I just need to adjust my mindset.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking Airbnb, these companies don't like Airbnb, but some people are like, it's a travel nurse, or in Delta. So they have what's it called? A flight pad or a travel pad or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? So Delta employees, something pad, okay? Like they fly into these different cities and they can go to this room. It's like a shared room, kind of. And I never really thought about it. Is Delta's probably finding somebody who either owns the property or a short-term rental specialist.
Leasing the property. Yeah. There's many different ways to make money off these properties. Again, Airbnb is just really one, aspect. And a lot of times people have asked like, hey, how did your Airbnb business do, during the pandemic, right? And I mean, I'm going to be pretty transparent. When the pandemic first was at its like high, all-time high, or just at its peak, we definitely, took like a hit in terms of like some cancellations, right? But then it just kind of forced me to pivot. That's when I tapped into travel nurses, because although there was a lot of chaos going on, guess what was at an all-time high? Travel nurses, doctors, health professionals that needed to go into hospitals in different cities and states all across the country. And I found these travel nurses to fill up my units. So the thing is, that's not a trend.
That's not a trend.
Health professionals aren't a trend. Business travel isn't a trend.
Yo, and a leasing agent would be a jerk to say, yo, these traveling nurses can't stay in my unit.
Yeah. And here's what I'll tell you. So I teach people how to build an Airbnb business or a short-term rental business without owning property, right? And within that program that I offer, I have a script. And in that script, nowhere in that script do I really say, present yourself as if you want to lease these properties for Airbnb. I don't tell them to do that. And there's a reason for that because, maybe your guests aren't going to be from Airbnb. To be honest, more than likely they are because it's really hot right now and you should utilize it. But why lead with that if all your people may not even be from that platform?
Got you.
You understand?
That makes sense. All right, so you have 12 units now.
Correct.
Right? What type of income do you generate on average?
So on my one bedrooms, about on average 1,500s, upwards up to 2,000 in profit.
Really?
Yeah. My two bedrooms, from 2,000 to 2,500 in profit.
Really?
Yeah.
It's up and it's stuck.
It's a cool business.
All right. So, all right. So what am I looking for? And not my first. Okay, yeah, that'll be my first question. What am I looking for when I'm trying to find an Airbnb?
So the what you really can look for is, number one, success leaves clues, right? So if you look up where there are already a bunch of Airbnbs that are doing well, and there's ways to really...
How do you know?
You can go on Airbnb.com and you can literally look for where a lot of the Airbnbs are pretty much in your particular city. You can look at...
That's the freaking cheat code right there. Hold on. So I'm actually about to download Airbnb. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. Because I'm about to download Airbnb.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you can literally go on there, look up, type in your particular city, and you can go on the map and you can literally zoom in to the areas where you see the most properties, right?
Right.
And you can look at the reviews. If they got a bunch of reviews, that just goes to tell you that, look, this place is getting a lot of bookings, especially if they have recent reviews. Right.
So if it's downloading now, if the complex that, so say for instance, I'm on Airbnb and I see, it's mad Airbnbs here that are available.
Yeah.
I can go to that particular unit and lease the space.
Now,
it's already going on.
I wouldn't really suggest necessarily going to the exact buildings or properties that you see. I mean, you could.
Why not though? It's working.
You could, right?
That's how I see it.
But I would more so say at least be very mindful of the area, right? Because again, I'm big on observing the masses and doing the opposite. So if I see someone that already has properties in the building, me personally, I don't really be excited about going to that particular building. I want to be in the area, but I don't necessarily have to be in that same building.
Gotcha.
You understand? So
I hope this would load because I want you to show me how you when you decide on a spot, how you're looking at it.
Yeah.
And how you're choosing to decide where I'm getting one of these properties.
Yeah. I mean, it success leaves clues. That's exactly how I research the market.
Because and based on what you said, though, you want to see what the masters are doing, and I want to do the opposite. You might be doing the opposite because that's where everybody got kicked out of.
So that's the thing. They're getting kicked out of it because they're doing something. They're not being transparent, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, David. Right? I'm not going to put nobody out there, right? But there are some people.
Say their name, tag them, bro. Adam, right? I'm just playing.
They like some people teach people to just lease up these properties, don't say anything, and hope you don't get caught, right? And that's just not the way to go about doing it. The way how I teach it is, look, be transparent.
What does that look like? You see this unit. Say you're going to come to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I see this unit. I'm the leasing agent. I'm saying, okay, Kemoy, how can I help you? You're like, oh, well, I'm trying to hold out your units.
Yeah.
How do you say it? How do you approach it?
So the way how I would kind of approach it, again, I wouldn't lead with Airbnb, right? I would pretty much say, hey, I have a business to where as though I kind of create housing for, business and health professionals, So rather than saying, again, Airbnb, I feel like that kind of creates a lot more peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm leading with professionals, not just anybody. Because look, not for nothing, sometimes when people say Airbnb, guess what they're thinking? young,
Parties.
crazy parties turn up, So again, it makes some people uneasy, So again, it's all about creating the mindset of, again, I'm just not getting any and everybody in here. I'm actually getting particular, the right proper people into these locations, people with sense, people that are actually professionals, actually,
I see.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're so against Airbnb, they're against their apartment being ruined.
That, and again, they don't like to be lied to.
Yeah. So I have a business where I house business professionals and, say it again?
Health and business professionals.
Health and business professionals. You even said that once or twice, haven't you?
Yeah.
Health and business professionals. Okay, I like that. So do you ever have them say, well, are you going to do Airbnb?
Honestly, if they ask, I say yes. And here's what I'll tell you, there's 3 things to really look out for when talking to landlords and property managers, right? Mm-hmm. Once you understand what a landlord or property manager is looking for, that will put you ahead of the game, okay? So the first thing that a landlord is looking for, and I'm pretty sure everybody, can agree with this, they're looking for, a good, consistent paying tenant, right? That they want somebody that's going to be good and that's going to pay the rent consistently every single month, right? And if we show up as an asset, for them knowing that we're going to fulfill that, it's game over.
True. So their goal is to have their spaces leased anyway.
Yeah. Well, we're entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
These properties are assets to us. We're going to make money month after month after month. So we have no problem consistently paying the rent month after month after month. You understand?
Yeah,
we're not going to just jeopardize our asset like that.
100%. What type of space are you looking for? Are you particularly looking for apartment complex, or you are looking for houses? Are you looking for close to the airport? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm open to them all, right?
But you don't have a specific criteria. I know if somebody says y'all got this space you can rent out, you'll assess it. But I'm saying, is there a particular criteria that you look for?
So
that works best.
The first thing that I look for is location, right? Once I understand, okay, this is the location that I want to be in.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm on my Airbnb too.
That's where I start. Right. And then I need to figure out, okay, how much can I charge in this particular area? And again, the way how I do that is I can gauge the market. I can look at what other Airbnbs are doing. How much are they charging? Right. And then I'll factor in a cleaning fee, and I'll calculate that by 20. Because in my mind, worst case scenario, I know I can at least get booked up 20 out of 30 days, at least, right? Oftentimes we have, booking rates, over 90% or even, close to 100, right? But again, worst case scenario, 20 out of 30 days, right? And I'll times that by the average nightly rate in that area.
90%, bro?
Yeah, sometimes 100.
I need to know what you're doing.
Sometimes 100, right? But again, in my program, I teach people how to position themselves in a way where they're going to get bookings like that. Right, the way how you set your property up properly, how to set your pictures up, what to put in the title, because what you put in the title is key. How to make your pictures are very key. A lot of times people don't like to read, so it's what's really the most important is how to set up your pictures and the reviews and things of that nature. But there's just ways to go about putting your property out there in a specific way that that you're going to end up on the top of the searches in your particular city. The algorithm, which is key.
How do you get on the top of the searches?
You got to know what works. You got to know what makes the algorithm work, And again, it's pictures, verbiage, things like that, reviews.
Yes,
also,
give it to me. You was about to tell me, and then you pulled back. Let me have it.
So, a big thing that gets properties to the top of the, the search is really when properties get favorited. A lot, right? So if you click on a particular Airbnb, you can click, you can kind of heart it so that way it goes to your favorites, right? And when Airbnb sees that, they're thinking, okay, people like this property, so let me put it up higher in the listings. Well, guess what you can do? You can have family, you can have friends heart your listing. You can have any and everybody just heart your listing. And again, that's going to send a boost into the algorithm.
Come on.
It's going to put you higher in the search listings.
That's heavy. That's heavy right there. I'm about to get me an Airbnb.
Bro.
And I'm just going to put it on my podcast. Easy. Yo, here's the address, yo. I need y'all to heart this joint, please. I need this 100%
You need a social proof Airbnb.
100%.
You need that.
I need that. Yo, so do all of them have to be near the city like that?
No. I mean, you can have Airbnbs in like more so like inner, city. It doesn't have to be like on outskirts or like near like main attractions or anything like that. It doesn't have to be.
You've seen success with Airbnbs that aren't even close to the airport or close to the city?
Yeah, I have. Because again, it could be close to a hospital, or it could be close to, maybe a headquarters. There's so many different reasons why people book Airbnbs. It doesn't necessarily just have to be, for airports or major attractions or things like that.
Okay, how do you set up an Airbnb? What's some tips on that?
Like,
because the way you said it, that joint rang a little bit. You said, I need a social proof Airbnb.
Yeah.
I need that joint.
You could deck it out.
Here's what's crazy.
Yeah.
I've been looking for like houses.
Yeah.
Because I'm just still stuck in the mindset, I just want to buy the house.
You could do houses. Oh, you talking about to buy or rent?
Buy, but
yeah,
maybe like a creative deal where it's like owner financing where the owner carries the note where I ain't got to
and you pay down, monthly, You could do that.
And somewhere maybe around here, like when people come for events and stuff.
Bro, I mean, that sounds like a dope idea, bro. Yeah.
I've been looking.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, I've been looking.
Yeah.
I really have. Yeah, for sure. People need it. Yeah. So I've been on Zillow though.
Yeah.
And I know what you're saying is I can just lease a space that's close. I might just try to find a space to lease that's close. I don't know. Maybe I'm just possessive like that and I just want to own it.
And again, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But here's why I love the rental arbitrage route, right? When you do it right.
I'm about to check what's going on in this area right now.
You have an amazing ability to scale up really fast, right?
Yes.
Case in point. So I went to this one apartment building, right? And again, it wasn't necessarily a high rise. I had like 20 units, right? More of your smaller apartment, right?
Hold on. Find a place to stay. Find a monthly. Oh, they got monthly. Airbnb has monthly stays.
Yeah.
Find an experience.
I have travel nurses that stay in my place. I had one travel nurse that was in my spot for 6 months.
What? Paying the rent?
Month after month. While I'm chilling out the country.
Yo, what's going on right? Why am I not missing? Joe, why don't I have an Airbnb? Yo, and there's mad Airbnbs around here, bro.
You gotta listen to the wife.
So check this out. You see, like it's mad. It's a bunch of Airbnb. This joint $388. Mm-hmm. This one's $1,000. Mm-hmm. This joint's $1,000, bro.
And again, research the market. Like if you see people charging that and they're getting bookings, you see reviews, you can justify why you charge that amount, if not a little bit higher. How
do you see? Oh, so 2 reviews. All right. Let me see. This one's for $650.
And you want to find consistency. So it's like maybe that could be, a newer property. So maybe that's why they don't have a lot of reviews, right? Or
These
maybe
are houses.
It could just not be. Yeah, it could be maybe not in the greatest location.
And they're super hosts.
Or it could be a part-time Airbnb because sometimes people live in actual, like they're living their place, and then maybe like when they travel for like business or family stuff, they'll like rent their place on Airbnb too.
There's an apartment, Greenhouse, Atlanta. Apartment for rent. And this looked like an apartment too. And this one has, I don't know, all these joints got 2. Oh, this got 47 reviews. Oh, this is nice. I'm glad I saw this. Like, and you're showing me, to go into, don't just be looking for stuff. Look at the app first. Okay, what were you about to say? You're about to say something and I got excited.
That's how I create confidence. A lot of times people ask, hey, what if I see a place that I want to get, but, what if, I'm not sure if it's going to get bookings? I'm like, research the market. Research the market, because if you see consistency in the market, you see a bunch of properties within that area, they have a bunch of reviews, their calendar's full. You can even look on their calendar and you can see how much they're booked up. And if you see consistency within those little factors right there, that will show you that if you get something in that location, you'll get bookings too. Success always leaves clues.
I like this vibe, bro. I like this. Is your okay with you have 12, right?
Yeah.
Are you getting overwhelmed at all?
No, so again, I've created a team around my properties, right? Like I got the self-check-in popping. I got the cleaners popping that specialize in cleaning. So much to the point where, again, like even if I tell them to check the battery on the remote every time they clean a property. Like if the battery, they got to get the battery. If the bulb is dead, they got to go get the bulbs. So like they're very aware.
So you don't be at the spaces like that.
No, I have places that I haven't seen for months. Right? I outsource this whole process. Even if things were to break, like let's just say, the leg on this little chair falls apart, right? Well, a guest isn't going to fix that, and I can't expect my cleaners to be handyman or handy women. So I also have a handyman that specialize in Airbnb properties.
Dang.
So they understand the whole structure of my business. Boom, guest checks out at 11 a.m. Well, they understand that this chair needs to get fixed by the guest checking at 3 p.m. They understand the timeline. So again, I have all the necessary pieces, to my puzzle just kind of laid out, put together to where as though it's like a well-oiled machine. I needed to build it in a way where, again, I love to travel. There are moments where I get one-way flights, and if I want to stay at a place for, weeks or months, like that's just how I want my life to be. Again, I design, I pick my career based on my life, right? Like I don't pick my life based on my career. So that's the life I wanted. So I needed to create my system in a way where, again, it runs with or without me. Again, business, things happen. No business is perfect. So things are going to happen. So I've already structured it in a way where if things were to happen, boom, I got people that are going to solve the problems.
Got you.
In my absence.
You're a smart man. You know that?
I know a thing or two.
It's just the way like you see the game and you're thinking of all of obviously you've been in it for a minute, but like you see the little angles that you need to really, really pay attention to. So what percentage of your revenue, your gross revenue, goes out to Airbnb, cleaners, handymen, about? What do you think?
So Airbnb has this thing where you can pretty much set up a cleaning fee, right? So like the cleaning fee doesn't come out of my pocket.
Oh.
So that's the amazing thing, right? So like I set my cleaning fee and then the guest pays that and then boom. And the thing is, I actually charge more for cleaning, so
you make money off the
cleaning. I make money off the cleaning fees.
Even after you pay somebody?
Even after I pay somebody. So again, the cleaning fees doesn't come out of my pocket. I make money off the cleaning fee.
Dang. All right. So outside of that,
yeah.
Okay, like what percentage do you get to keep?
So when I say the 15 to 2,000 profit for a one bedroom and 2,000, 2,500 a month in profit, like that's after expenses. That's after expenses.
So okay, maybe my question is, I'm trying to get at, is there a particular formula that you go off of where you're saying, okay, if this space cost me $2,000 to lease, how much should I make off? How much do I want to walk home with at the end of the month?
Yeah.
You have a formula?
So the way how I do it, again, is, worst case scenario, if it's booked out, 20 out of 30 days, I'll times that by whatever, number I know I'm going to charge a night. And I'll factor in how much I'm going to make off potential cleaning fees. And in my mind, I know based on, because I put Wi-Fi in my place. So I got to factor in Wi-Fi. A lot of times I'll add parking, so I factor in those fees. And the way how I break it down is after I take out those fees, how much am I making? So I know that I at least want to make, $1,500, a month profit. I need to.
Off of how much though? Or that doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. At least to me, it doesn't matter.
If the lease is $4,000, you're okay making $1,500. If the lease is $1,500, you're okay with making $1,500.
So that's my thing too. So I actually have like a certain price point that's kind of like my sweet spot. And maybe if I was going to get like a unit, spend like, if I was going to have a lease spend that high, of course I'd want more. 100% I would want more.
But there's no real formula though that you're calculating on.
No. But like I'm in a sweet spot of like kind of like that.
What's the number?
15. Like I have places that are like a little under 1,300. to like 1,700 the most. That's kind of like my sweet spot.
That's your window. Got you.
Right? And I kind of work around that.
Got you. So when do you know it's time to get another one?
So that's a great question, right?
That's good questions.
You do. So, it's crazy. If I really wanted to, I could have like 100, and I really build it slowly. Like I scale it up slowly. And I think the thing is, for me, I'm looking for a big play. Like I'm looking for like a play where I can get like 10, 15, 20 like in one clip.
Instead of the one by one.
Yeah. Because the last I had got 3 in one clip this past March. Right. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I said, if I'm gonna get more, it needs to be like in a lump like that. So in terms of when do I feel like I'm ready to get another one, it's just like when I feel like it.
Yeah.
So like in March.
Essentially what I'm gathering is you're not ready to get another one. You're looking for another 10.
Yeah.
How did you get to 3? How did that come up?
So that's what I was going to tell you. Rental arbitrage, you have an amazing opportunity to scale up really fast, right? Because I went to an apartment, the building had like 20 units or less. And the landlord allowed me to get 1 unit. She knows exactly what I was doing. Yeah. And built a good relationship, conducted business well. Mr. Martin, do you want more? 1 turned into 2. 2 turned into 3.
I would like that situation.
Now I have 7 in one building.
Wow.
In another building, I have 3. Right? So it's like, again, you have the ability to scale. And again, you can have a situation where you get like 5 or 10 or 20 in one if you really want to, if you built the right relationship and if you put yourself in position, to do so.
Right, because their goal is to rent it out. Their goal is to get occupancy.
To the right people. And that's what I was going to tell you. You got to understand the 3 main things that landlords are looking for.
What are the 3?
1 is that they're looking for a good, consistent paying, tenant.
Yes.
Right? The second thing, they're looking for somebody that's going to take great care of their property. Right? Think about it like this. When people, rent out an apartment, when they move out, think about how crazy people leave it after they moved out. Like, think about it. Like, if you talk to a property manager, they'll tell you, like, people, like, leave places, like, looking trash.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And turnover is a landlord's biggest expense. Right? So, you've been to an Airbnb before. Have you ever stayed in, like, a really nice, decked-out Airbnb?
It was like, yes.
Yeah. Right? So the thing is, a lot of times people stay in some really nice Airbnbs, so nice that they don't even want to go back home because it's just fire.
Yeah.
Right? So that Airbnb host is financially incentivized to maintain the look of their property 365 days out the year.
Right.
It looks like it's in for sale condition all throughout the year. So if you're a landlord and you were presented, okay, this is how your property will look after a year, the Airbnb host that has their property looking like in for sale condition whole entire year, in comparison to a tenant, and most tenants, you know how they leave properties after they leave. It's crazy. They're not getting professionally cleaned during their time of stay. They're just not.
Right.
So
they're
just living in it. So if you were to see the two and you were presented the right way, what would you choose if you were a landlord?
My whole mindset on Airbnb just shifted. Because now I'm thinking, I'm landlord, I'm doing you a favor.
That's it. It's a win-win situation.
Wow.
It's a win-win situation.
I like that.
And then the third thing is
someone's going to make payments on time. One is
good,
going to take care of the space, okay?
Yep, good, consistent paying tenant. Someone that's going to take care of the property. And then the third thing, somebody that's going to lease their property today. Because think about this.
Right.
There's a lot of landlords and property managers out there that have just all these vacant spaces. Whether they have an empty, house, they have an empty, apartment, or even a bunch, right? Mm-hmm. And again, landlords got into the real estate business to make residual income. Yeah. They don't want an empty property, right? So every single month that goes by and their place isn't rented, they're losing money. Yeah. So here we are, the short-term rental entrepreneur that comes correct, and we're ready to kind of acquire this property right now. We fulfill that need that they're looking for. Yes. So you just need to understand those 3 things.
Joe, I was about to get an Airbnb. Dang, that's lit. And now it's even stronger talking points. Like you just arm me with more conversation for a landlord. You mad smart, bro. I can see why your clients are getting these results.
And listen, I had no intentions on creating a program, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like I was just enjoying my Airbnb business and traveling the world, you know?
Right.
But I had people would DM me, occasionally, how, teach me, bro, teach me how. But I had like a really like close like friend and also fraternity brother like reach out to me. He's like, look, bro, I really need you to teach me this. Like, and I don't want to wait no more. We had this conversation like 2 years ago. I need to know now. And he put a fire under me to really create something that can show him how to do it, but also just to kind of show anybody that really wants to create passive income, right? Because it's an amazing business. And it's like, you don't need to be educated, in terms of like real estate. You don't need a real estate license or like, you don't have to have a lot of business experience. Like the average person can really come into a business like this, and scale up to a 6-figure plus income in a short period of time.
Mm-hmm. So is your friend doing Airbnb?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's out. He's in the game.
Yeah.
Dang. All right. So if I do this Airbnb, you got my back? You gonna like help me out with that joint? First, I'll get the course.
Yeah.
But I need a discount. Oh, this isn't for me. This discount isn't for me. It's for them. But I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
Social proof? Can we do a discount?
We could do that.
I don't know what the discount's going to be. I don't know. You figure out what it's going to be. We
can work that out.
And just make it social proof, just so like people that like spent an hour with us can say, yo, I learned from the dude and I want to rock with him. So with the course, do they get to like talk to you at all? Yeah, so in the course, there's a step-by-step blueprint on exactly how to build it from scratch, right? Also, I got scripts in there. Step-by-step script on exactly what to say to landlords, property managers, and even apartment complexes. I break down... Oh, brother, I was trying to figure that out all day. Yeah. Like, it's in the script. Okay. Yeah, that's why I was trying to gather. Okay, what do I say in the script?
I got it structured. So it's like, you don't got to overthink it.
I know it's structured too. Just talking to you these last few minutes, I know that joint's super organized.
Yeah, 100%.
And thorough.
Exactly. Boom. How to set your title up the right way to attract people to book your place. What to put in your summary. Exactly where to find the cleaners that specialize in cleaning Airbnb properties. How to find the right handyman for your property. So again, if things were to break and just things happen while you're away, instead of you going to the property, you can have the right people in place to keep your business running with or without you being involved. Yeah. Right. So I have all these things laid out.
All right. But do they have any
private Facebook group? I have a private Facebook
community.
Yeah,
okay,
I have a private Facebook group. So literally you can go into that group. You can, if you have any questions, you can get in there. Myself or somebody in the community will answer and help out. So it's like you're not there by yourself.
Right.
There's other people, within the community that want to support. And again, we all have a common vision. And that's to acquire these properties, make passive income, and see each other win.
Did you ever start dating Nikki?
No.
Oh, that was your friend's girl?
Yeah. That's his wife.
That's his wife.
Yeah. Okay. Nikki's the homie.
Sorry, Nikki. Are you single?
I'm not.
You're not? You got a girlfriend?
I do.
You're not married?
I'm not married.
So you're technically still single?
I guess based on like applications and the government, yeah.
You shouldn't even.
Well, you can't tell her that.
Yeah, listen, that's the wrong answer, bro. You should said
no, I'm being technical. Technical. But I'm not single. But you get it. You're trying to throw me under the bus.
I really say the first thing that comes to my mind sometimes, and I'm sorry. If I was thinking about it, I would have said it. All right, but anyway, thank you on behalf of all of the listeners that have been seeing this Airbnb thing that stays in Airbnbs. You might as well at least get the information on how to. Might as well, bro. And how much is the course right now? So right now it's $997. You gotta take that for just the program. You gotta take that up. But the VIP coaching. Here's my thing. Yeah. I know. So and some people might think, okay, $1,000 is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, if you can get into an Airbnb property and passively make that your first month. Yeah. I think at a lower price point of $1,000, people might not take it seriously. And we're going to give them a discount. So I think you can raise it, not for my friends, but you should raise it for everybody else.
Yeah.
Because that's valuable, bro.
I might do that. Now, you spoke facts just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real. And, this is my boy said. Shouts out to Marquell. He said the difference between somebody who charges, and he didn't say it this way, but he pretty much told me the difference between somebody that charges 1,000 and somebody that charges 2,000 is the person, the person's brain. It's the only difference. It's not like anyway. But yeah, okay, we'll keep it at 1,000 for my friends. And the discount on social proof, just click. There would be a link somewhere. Just click. Just put your joint in there. But thank you. I gotta ask you though, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So I want to just make a prediction so that I can see this. So you could tell me what's gonna happen in your life 5 to 10 years from now, so we can look back on this and say, yo, he said that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Well, that's a really good question. I mean,
ask good questions.
So much, man. I mean, definitely probably travel to like 100 countries, right? And I really want to impact more people globally.
You're not going to say nothing about marriage? You got to get her off edge, bro.
That's crazy. Throwing me all the way under, all the way. No, but I do see, I know, for a fact, I do see marriage. I definitely do see marriage in the future, for sure. I see marriage.
Sorry, bro. I am a full-fledged hater right now. Look,
I see kids, I see family. Again, I do care about that. I'm all about, building a legacy.
Okay, all right. So outside of that.
That is in the will. That is there.
For sure.
Yeah. But I want to, but I really want to impact people globally. As I travel the world, I meet a lot of different people and different cultures, and I'm getting ready to launch a nonprofit so I can kind of do something that really impacts people just all around the world. So I definitely see myself taking that in a way where I have that ability to help out a lot of people on a global scale. Living in my dream house, dream car. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just really scaling up my more businesses. And I'm very open-minded. So like as time goes on, as I learn more information, and as tapping in with people like you, it's just like this. The more I learn, the more I want to do.
Yeah.
So just kind of scaling up all my businesses just to another level and just impacting more people for sure.
For sure. I can see that, brother. Man, look, I think it's something very deep and profound advice to give somebody, because you're going to close this out with a strong word of wisdom, okay? But I got to give a commercial real quick, okay? So this episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. Oh, crap. Did I text him last time? I didn't, right? So first off, let's just do this. Let's get this out the way. I need y'all to text me at 404, and it comes straight to my phone, okay? 404-737-4935. Just text me, okay? And I'll let you know when episodes is out, when I'm doing specials, promos, all that kind of stuff. But right now, we have themorningmeetup.com, which is the only community that gathers every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurs. So every morning, we have a coaching call. And I'm teaching entrepreneurs all across the country. How many people do you think is in that community?
Thousands.
You would think.
How many?
I mean, maybe it is thousands. Yeah. Well,
it should be millions.
It should be millions.
Yeah.
But right now, so there's over 4 figures of people that are in the program.
Yeah.
Actually joining a call is about 300 to 400 every morning though.
Yeah.
Every morning. There's not many places you can go where you can meet up with hundreds of people every day, much less every week, much less every month.
You want to know why that's so fire? And like people really need to understand, like environment is everything.
Everything.
When you put yourself in the right environment, you have no choice but to win. Right? Like, case in point, right? Like, I'm in this mastermind with Neo, right? And it's like, we vibrate on such a high level. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they keep me on my toes. Like, even if I want to chill, they going crazy. And because they going crazy, I need to...
I'm in the same mastermind you in.
Exactly.
We are We in the same mastermind, man.
we are.
I thought y'all was in something else. I'm like, yo, put me in that joint. Anyway.
Yeah,
yes.
but it's like, like instantly, like I snap out of it, even if I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you need that right environment to continuously level up. And especially if you jump on every morning, it's just gonna expedite your success. It's gonna catapult you because it's like you wake up vibrating through the roof.
100%.
So throughout your day, it's over. You're gonna be productive. You're gonna make big things happen.
Yo, I'm on there every day.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
That's commitment.
That's commitment.
Yeah.
Guess how much it is though?
How much?
$1.
No way.
They can try the morning meetup for $1.
That's too cheap.
For 7 days. $1.
Yeah.
After that, guess how much it is? $79 a month. I'm coaching every single day. So I'll be trying to tell people, man, listen, they need to be a part of the most amazing community in the world. Yeah. And the community, they branch off and they link up with each other because they're all in each other's cities. They're all across the country. So that's just important. Go to themorningmeetup.com. I'm sick of trying to sell y'all on this dollar. Just invest your dollar, okay? Themorningmeetup.com. And I'll see y'all in a minute. Oh, Patreon. Oh, crap. And then we got to still do Patreon. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Let everybody know how to get in touch with you, how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so you can reach me on Instagram at Kemoy_Martin, KEMOY_MARTIN. And you can also reach me, if you want to pretty much get more information on my program. Should I give them the program link?
Yeah, you can give them the link. I mean, we'll have a link here too, but you give me a link too.
Yeah. You can tap into the link, whatever you see down below. But, also the direct link to my program where I teach you exactly how to build an Airbnb business without owning any piece of real estate. So whereas though you could position yourself to be a real estate investor or even make a six plus figure passive income, literally while being on the beach or being in your comforts of your homes. And you can go to www.limitlessbnb.com, www.limitlessbnb.com.
That's very lit. Well, look, thank you, man. I definitely want to have you talk to the person that is maybe in your old position where they're making $28,000 a year at a job that they don't necessarily see any joy throughout the day. You know what I mean? What advice would you give that person? Or what advice would you give your old self before you got into personal development?
Well, first you have to ask yourself, is that how you saw your life? Is that where you truly saw how you were going to live your life until the day that you die, right? And if the answer is no, why not change it, right? And if you really want to change it, put yourself in position to change it. Whether that, like we were just talking about, putting yourself in the right environment. You got to make yourself extremely uncomfortable being where you currently are. And that happens when you're in the right environment, right? And then you got to put in the work. Like, obviously, if you're dissatisfied in being in that position, you probably want more money, you want a better lifestyle, you want IG, you salty because you see people flashy and living crazy, right? But don't just get caught up on the flash and the nice things. You want to really focus on, how can I get here right? How can I build myself mentally and spiritually and emotionally to the place where you can become the type person to live the life that you want? That's not going to happen overnight. No matter who you are, where you come from, however, how much money is in your bank account, you can live the life that you want to live 100%. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And if you make that decision, because it starts with a decision, a couple years from today, life can be extremely different. And I believe that you can do it, because if I can do it, if anybody that you see on this podcast can do it, we all pump the same blood, we all got skin, you can do it. And just understand that. And, you'll be living life of your dreams.
There it is. Listen, we can't close it out no better than that, man. Listen, do me a favor. First off, go follow Kemoy. Second off, I need you to go build something really, really big. I want you to go get you some social proof. Meaning you build something, but you got to come back. Very important part. You got to come back to your community and teach them how you did what you did, okay? That's the only way our community grows, okay? So Patreon family, we about to get into a little behind-the-scenes conversation, all right? And I don't know why you're not on Patreon. You're bugging. So we got to give you some sauce. Think of some sauce that we didn't give on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I gotta give it to my family. All right?
What is Patreon?
I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We out of here. Peace. What if I told you for $1, I will introduce you to hundreds of entrepreneurs every single morning this week? From all across the country, you'll be able to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I'll coach you. I'll coach you for $1 this whole week, and I'll introduce you to some of my successful friends for $1 this week. Would you take part in that? Well, go to themorningmeetup.com because that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? The only organization that gathers entrepreneurs every single day for the betterment of entrepreneurship, okay? Every single day, Monday through Friday, we gather, we're growing, we're learning. We got a book club. Have you ever seen hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the same book every single chapter, every single day? We're growing together, okay? You need the environment to grow in. Themorningmeetup.com, $1. I'm gonna give you all of this for $1. If you wanna stay, great. It's $79 a month after that. If not, no obligation. You can leave whenever you want. All right? Themorningmeetup.com. I'll see you in the morning.